Toastmaster. Teresa, thank you very much for your speech today. I really love it when people tie their titles into their stories. I mean, because for me, I like to take that little bit of extra effort and use it. But I loved at the end of your intro how it was part of your story where you said, look up. For your speech, I thought it was very well structured and you had really good stories. You described Kelly with having a lot of encouragement, and everybody knows that she's basically a cheerleader for all of us. And you also talked about Greg and Julie and how they mentored you and inspired you to become a mentor as well. When you started with their story, I was a little concerned that you were talking too much about your mentors and not how it was for you as a protege, which is the object of the project. But I thought you did a great job bringing it in and explaining that they're the inspiration for you, which kind of goes back to your title of being that encouraging mentor. One of the goals that you wanted to work on was having eye contact. Now, I have an issue with this when we come to video because a lot of times we're like, good eye contact is looking at that dot on the screen and the camera. But in general, when you're giving a speech, that eye contact is how are you engaging with everyone else? How do you make sure that you're conveying that sense of emotion? For me, I thought you did a great job staring at that dot, but it was a little awkward in that you kept staring at the dot. Even when you said, look up, you kind of pointed this way, but you were staring right at the middle of the screen. So I couldn't really see your eye movements moving around, which kind of meant, is that exactly where your notes are, or are you really engaged in this speech? So something to think about when you're presenting online. Another thing, which I think was mentioned inside in the chat, was that your background. So you can see yourself, and even right now you're covering the U. Yeah, I would just reposition your computer. If you don't want to reposition your chair, reposition your computer, because there was a lot of backgrounds where we missed some of the words that you were going through. So you have to just be okay with being offset if you're intending on using that space. Another goal that you had was providing that ambiance of confidence. I would say you don't come off as nervous at all when you're telling these stories. And this is where some other feedback of how you can challenge yourself is branch out with that body language, branch out with that vocal variety. You're comfortable. The whole point of Toastmasters is to get you out of your comfort zone and be that next level speaker. And I think that we can definitely see that coming from you. I loved your call to action at the end, and I thought I really have a bad problem of wrapping up my speeches, but for you, it was very clear the way that you ended it. I forgot what you said, but it was something along the lines of, if you were a mentor here today, like you could tell that was your wrap up instead of in summary, but this was your call to action. And I think that it was great. And I appreciate your stories, thanking the mentors and inspiring others to be mentors.